Welcome, everyone, to the Turkey edition of Sis and Big Pops Culture, episode 45. I am Todd Turner, a.k.a. Big Pops, and as always...
Hi, sweet friends. I'm Hannah Jo, a.k.a. Sis, and together we're an adult daughter and father duo. We dive into all things geek, nerd, and fandom. Every episode is family friendly. Gobble, gobble,
so
gobble.
Listen, yeah, it's funny because when I had to apply for being on certain podcasting platforms, they have to say, is this, I don't remember the options, but one of them was timely. And I had to say that ours was timely because
what does
we
timely
do speak.
Mean?
It means like news, because there's things that we talk about that is like
moderately timely.
Moderately timely. Yeah.
I mean, you could still listen to this and it's not... Like, you can listen to this a year from now and still be like, that got resolved in that way.
This Sis and Big Pops is fantastic. Actually, we do that because we actually go back because some of the things we talk about in the news come to be, and it's really cool.
And then we read Sweet Tooth because Sweet Tooth was coming out as a TV show, and then it came out as a TV show and was like good.
It was really good.
You really liked it.
RDJ. I know. Go ahead, Hannah. What's the lowdown?
So, friends, welcome to our podcast. What we're going to do today is we're going to chat about some nerd news, the things that Dad and I find interesting. We're in no way reporters. This is just stuff we find on the internet that we think is fun to talk about.
We are not.
We are not reporters. We talk about what we've been watching or binging. We talk about Pop's pull list. If you don't know what those words mean, don't worry. We'll get there and explain it to you. We also review a movie and a comic. Today we are reviewing Red Notice, the new Netflix movie, and Donny Cates, the first volume of Donny Cates' Venom run.
Yes, that's right.
As our
let's just
comic.
Dive in, because you say we dive in. I'm diving in. That's a Stephen Curtis Chapman song, if y'all don't know who that is.
That was on the summer
Hannah.
CD. Yes.
Live from the newsroom in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Hannah Turner, take it away.
Black Panther has stopped production for the rest of the year.
Why? Corbin?
Right, the actress who plays Shuri.
Yes.
She was in a stunt, got a concussion and a fractured shoulder, and was injured more than they thought she was.
Oh,
and
that's
so
a bummer.
They're taking off until the first of the year.
People getting hurt doing stuff. I mean, that's just crazy pants. Listen, I painted the ceiling yesterday, and I need to take off the rest of the year. My shoulder's killing me. I'm like, my neck. I stared at the ceiling for an hour and a half.
I need to take the year off too.
They are not recasting what's his face.
They're not. Okay.
No, Black Panther, Chadwick
Boseman.
Flat out. Which, now let's just dive into this because you and I talked about this briefly right before we started.
Yeah.
All the rumor is that they've recast Captain Marvel.
Yeah, that they recast Brie Larson.
Out.
They didn't.
Think that's baloney. It's
cursory Google
the voice
search.
Actor.
Yeah, it's just a voice actor. And they did that for more than Brie Larson. Like, they got a new person to be Robert Downey Jr., to be Iron Man, to be Captain America.
Drax.
To be Drax.
At that point,
Holland.
What's his face, Drax.
Oh, yeah, Dave Bautista was mad at Disney
anyway. But
because of James
listen,
Gunn.
we're going to get a movie called The Marvels, and it's going to, or a show, and it's going to deal with that Kamala Khan.
Which is going to be dope.
Which we read the first
and it's phenomenal.
And Monica Rambeau, which is the daughter of the pilot who was best friends with Brie Larson before she came. Yes, and who actually was the first Miss Marvel in the Captain Marvel in the comic book.
Yes, because we knew that. Well, we knew that. I knew this.
I collected that. I got that. I bought that.
Showed it to me. You were like, look at her.
Yeah.
Look at how cool she
outfit
looks.
Too.
Yeah, she's got her hands out like this, and
I love the afro.
Auditory medium. Her hands up above her head. She's got this afro. She's got
African-American woman.
She's got
it was 80s flowy
it was dope.
So anyway, don't believe everything because real investigative journalists aren't just clickbaity. Yes, stuff.
This is Hannah and Todd Turner, real investigative journalists.
Now this is real.
Okay.
This is important.
Tell us.
Do you know we're supposed to be landing on the moon again?
Is that, who?
Us, the
America
world?
Or Amazon?
Not
Do you get my question there?
I do get your
question.
Is it
America
the only reason
or is
I know this? Listen, I don't know this because
like Snoopy is going
funny.
Or something like that.
Yes, Snoopy is going to be aboard Artemis 1 as the zero gravitational thing. I don't know. They're going to like see how gravity affects
a stuffed
Snoopy
animal
doll. I'm sure it'll be more than just a stuffed animal.
I need you to know.
Animal.
I didn't click on it. I saw that, but I was like, this is a joke.
No, it's true.
But it's real life.
Not only that, but we have the first person of color and the first woman that are supposedly supposed to land on the moon.
That's dope.
And so this is a precursor to that. Snoopy's in space.
Snoopy in space. We love to see it.
Because I was listening to the Snoopy Linus Christmas songs today. Yeah. And going through the drive-thru at Raising Cane's, I didn't realize that they were
It's Snoopy themed. Dad, I need you to know I did know this.
Snoop Dogg.
Yes, Snoop Dogg and Snoopy.
I love this.
I love it
because you love Cane's.
I eat Cane's for dinner every Sunday night.
This is not, we are not a paid advertisement.
But if you would like to pay me to advertise, I will. Cane's is like on the top of the list of things I will say.
Why would they pay you? Because you're talking about it right now.
Oh, well, they're subpar then, I guess.
They're not subpar.
They're not. It's delicious. This was a piece of news I saw and thought about you, that the Star Wars franchise is returning to Dark Horse Comics in 2022.
Really?
Yeah.
That's weird because I wonder why they're doing that.
Something about an anthology. Like they want to have like a bunch of different... Gotcha. Lucasfilm wants a bunch of different types of products from, I don't know. Because it got pulled when Disney bought it.
Well, because Marvel is owned by Disney. And
yeah.
I mean, they still own Star Wars. I wonder, that's interesting.
I think it's to diversify or like, hey, we're going to do certain types of stories in this place. The article that I read about it was confusing.
Well, they don't like to do rated R type stuff, but there's never been a rated R Star Wars property.
I don't know.
Because this really is binging, but not binging. But I downloaded on the Kindle app. If you have Amazon Prime, you can do this. The first 6 issues of the Darth Vader series that came out a couple years ago, and it is awesome. It's really, really good.
Is it by Dark Horse?
No, it's by Marvel. See, when Marvel took over, they put out new Star Wars comics, and I have the first issue. And then the guy who's supposed to get we just missed a couple, and so I just never went back and got them. I just decided not to get them. But I really enjoyed it. And speaking of like properties owned by Disney, they have a Predator show.
I've heard about the Predator show coming out. Like people are excited about it.
And an Alien show.
Okay.
So Alien is being done because they both brought the rights to those, right? We talked about that a while ago.
I'm just saying an Alien ride at like MGM, Hollywood Studios, would be sick.
Awesome. Be scary.
It'd be sick.
Well, here's the deal. They're not going to be on Disney Plus.
They're not? What are they going to, Hulu?
The Predator show is going to be on Hulu, and Alien is being done by FX.
Really? Okay. FX put stuff on Hulu.
But isn't that 20th Century Fox? FX is Fox, which is owned by Disney.
Well,
didn't they buy, right?
Man, Disney, we're all going to live in the United States of Disney eventually. Disney will own everything.
Then they'll freeze each one of us when we pass so that they can bring us back alive.
No, I don't want it.
Yeah, I don't want it. I don't want it either. So,
did you see the new Spider-Man No Way Home trailer?
I did see it.
I don't. Do you think that is Doctor Strange?
Yes. Yeah, I think it's Doctor Strange.
You think it is?
I thought it was funny that they mentioned a Warner Brothers character in a Disney.
What?
Scooby-Doo this. He said, let's Scooby-Doo this.
Let's Scooby-Doo this.
Whatever. Yeah, and which was funny. And
will you please Scooby-Doo this? My favorite is they brought back the "That's not your name" joke. I'm Dr. Doc Ock.
Well, I think they're making fun of Dr. Otto Octavius. Like, really? You're an octopus, you have 8 Otto Octavius.
Well, it's like, we're using our fake names. Well, I'm Spider-Man.
Oh, you think that's what it was? I thought they were just saying how ridiculous it is that that's his name.
Well, regardless, it was still a funny joke.
You know, again, that's a trope, but it wasn't a trope because it was, when it first came out, it was the OG original. That's funny. Yeah. So,
man, I don't know. I don't know about Doctor Strange.
I do.
I don't know about him.
Doctor Strange.
I don't know about him, Dad. I think
Spider-Man stole I don't think, the way it looks to me, like in the trailer, like maybe that Peter Parker stole the spell
and tried it
and screwed it up. And now Doctor Strange has to try to fix it, which is what and the issue is they all die. You know, did you hear that? Like, all these people die. That's what they do.
That's their fate.
That's their fate. Yeah.
Man. And then I don't know about it. I'm going to see it. I'm going to see it.
It's in December. Yeah. So it's right before Christmas.
I have a list of movies.
I do too. There's a bunch.
There's a bunch coming out. I'm stoked about it.
More news?
I know that's the last. Oh, one more piece. A Baymax cartoon coming to Disney Plus.
Oh, that'd be fun.
And it's like actual Baymax, like in him, like doing things with people.
In the Marvel universe.
It's like him, like doing things.
Do you remember the dad of the rich guy was Stan Lee? Isn't that
hysterical?
Hilarious?
Yeah.
I would love to see Baymax. Looks so fun.
It's Baymax, exclamation mark. Baymax. And it's coming.
So
it's coming
two
summer.
Baymaxes?
No, it's just one. It's just Baymax, exclamation mark. And it's him like helping people. Like there was this girl, and it's this girl, and it just like it's the aunt, and she falls and hurts her leg, and he's like, "You need to do this. Don't worry, I will run the.
Waddle over to a
I will run the store. I will be in charge of the shop."
That sounds fun.
And it's like him like pushing really slowly on caramel syrup. And can't get the lid on top. And it's just walking up, like waddling. He's like,
is it like a series of shorts?
Yeah. Except I think it's like an actual TV show.
Thing?
Mm-hmm. But like a TV show. Like I think it's going to be like 20, 30 minutes long.
Oh gosh. I don't know if they could pull that off 20, 30 minutes. Me watching somebody try to put caramel syrup on an ice cream.
Well, I think it's going to be more like nuanced than that.
Gotcha. Well, I've got just a couple more things.
Okay, bring it on.
Spend a whole lot of time on them, but
okay. I'm done. That's it for me.
Scarlett Johansson
is doing an unspecified Marvel thing. Yeah.
So they casted a woman as Poison Ivy.
I saw that.
I love Poison Ivy. So Warner Brothers has come out with a game on like PlayStation or Xbox or something called Multiversus. So it's like a 2v2 fighting game or a player game where here are the characters that are in it. Mm-hmm. Like Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Harley Quinn, Shaggy, Bugs Bunny. What's the girl, the Stark from Game of Thrones? Maisie Williams' character? Yeah, Tom and Jerry, Jake the dog, Finn
Jake the dog, Jake the dog.
Universe. So the cool thing is that they're all voiced by those people that voice them.
Oh, that's so fun.
Kevin Conroy is
Jake
Batman.
The dog and
Joe
Finn
DiMaggio, Jeremy Shada, Maisie Williams.
That's so
Tara
fun.
Strong as Wonder Woman. Yeah, that's so cool. That's fun. Yeah. And I wanted you to bring this in. Nickelodeon has 2 new animated series they're putting out.
Okay.
And they look really cool.
Aww.
The first one is called Max and the Midnights. I may be saying that wrong. Max and the Midnights. So this is from a book series, and this is about a 10-year-old girl who lives in a fantastical medieval place, and it is her trying to become a knight with all of her friends.
Oh, fun.
So it's going to be, pushing the society norms and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, that looks cool. And then they have a new one coming out called paper, rock, scissors, or rock, paper, scissors. Okay. And it's 3 friends. Paper is basically the moral compass. No, rock is like the moral compass because he's a rock.
Steady. Right? I'm with you.
Paper is the brains, the inventor of the whole thing. And scissors is like the cool wannabe guy who's always getting them into trouble.
Who's like, smash.
I guess so. So it looks fun.
That's fun. Oh, I like that. Man, we love a cartoon in this house.
I had so much more. And Karen Gillan is going to be in an animated Disney.
Karen Gillan is in a new Netflix show I haven't seen yet. It is in a Netflix movie where she's like an assassin.
Oh, yes, I saw that, but I haven't watched it.
I haven't watched it.
But she's going to be a Disney animated musical.
Man, I love Karen Gillan.
Rona, who lives by the river.
Actress.
Danny Elfman's doing some of the music.
That's awesome. Sick.
No kidding.
Man.
A lot of news. I just didn't want to spend.
Well, it's been a minute since we've done this, so that makes sense.
Well, this is only going back 3 or 4 days. So.
Really? Okay. Well, you know more things than me.
There you go. It's because I'm just in the nerdverse, yo. Hannah.
Yes.
What are you binging?
Okay. So again, it's been a minute. So some things. Trev and I have started watching Daredevil because he's never seen it.
Have you seen it?
I've seen the first season and that's it.
Okay. The 15-minute fight scene that never is just one camera. Never.
Oh, so good. With the we just finished that one. We just finished that episode. I'm like, this is sick, and it's just like one camera going. So good.
Yeah. So this is that's
so good.
It's for grown-ups on Netflix. Yeah.
I watched Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Gotcha. It's a movie.
I
it's on
watched
HBO Max, I'm guessing.
Amazon?
I don't know.
Amazon.
That's rated R. That is a rated R movie.
These are the 2 grown-up-y things I watched.
Yeah.
I watched The Making of Frozen 2 Into the Unknown, the 6-part miniseries on Disney Plus.
Wow. What do you think about that?
It's the 4th or 5th time I've seen it. It's one of my favorite things to watch.
Gotcha.
It's so good. It's so good. And they go through.
So is this like it shows you the animation and the storyboarding and all that kind of stuff?
It takes like 12 months out and like what they do 12 months up to the movie.
Talking about the music and all that kind of stuff?
The music, how things are animated, how things were cut, added.
Okay. How long is each episode?
About 30 to 50 minutes, depending.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's like the making of The Mandalorian.
Okay, yeah.
And so they have like talking heads, but they also follow like random people, like lower level animators to people who are composers.
Level. How would you like that to be your?
You're
a lower level animator.
Like I'm not trying to be a turd. It's just
how can you level up? Is it like a video game? Can you level up?
You level up. But it was I'm not.
I get you. I totally understand. You are not being mean at all. No, I understand.
And you got to see a bunch of people do all of their jobs and how it all works together. And man, I think that stuff's really cool.
The people that puts the hair on the reindeer is just as important as the person who sings the song.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. Anyway, but each person has a job to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
What else did I watch?
That's what you've done, huh?
Oh, Ghostbusters.
The OG one?
We watched the new Ghostbusters. We watched Ghostbusters Afterlife.
The new movie?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was really good.
Oh, well, good. Have you seen the other 2? The original 2?
I saw the original, and then I saw the new one with the girls.
Oh,
and then I saw this one.
You didn't see the second one?
I didn't see the second Ghostbusters.
I didn't like the second Ghostbuster. I thought it was really weird.
I loved this movie. Okay. Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Better than the one with the girls?
Was so much better than the one with the girls.
I got
like 10 times better. I really liked.
The girls really tried hard to be a comedy. That's all they wanted it to be.
It was not. I mean,
it was okay.
Yeah, it was. This one I really, really liked. I liked that they let the kids be like kids.
Listen, they're pulling off the Stranger Things thing.
It really worked.
It's in the movie. I know.
It really worked, and it was like actually fun to watch. And man, those jump scares, they got me good.
Are you ready for this?
They got me good. Yes.
The guy who directed this movie, his dad directed the first Ghostbusters.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I like that. Jason
Reitman and Ivan Reitman. Yeah, sure enough. I watched a video, really cool. An interview with Dan Aykroyd, Bill Murray, and I had his name until I started talking. The other surviving Ghostbuster from the first movie. They talked about how they decided all to come back together because this was the right time. And
no, it actually really was. Like it genuinely was like sweet. The ending of it was like very like sweet, and you could, man, I don't know. I really, I don't want to spoil it. I really enjoyed it.
Gotcha. Well, good. I want to watch it. Ernie Hudson. His name's Ernie Hudson.
That's the guy who played the guy with the glasses and the curly hair.
No, that is the one who's no longer living. His name was Harold Ramis.
Yeah,
he's the granddad.
They called
the girls.
So at the very end, at the very end of the movie, it said for Harry. It was really, it was really sweet. It was really sweet.
That's good.
And like it was it was a good homage in my opinion.
Homage to him.
Yeah,
good. That's awesome. I want to see it.
I enjoyed it. I would encourage you to watch it.
Yet.
Man, Eternals was good too.
I know. Just stop. I may just go this thing while we're in Nashville and go see 18 movies.
I'll sit right next to you. Me and my Regal Pass.
Good. All right. Are you ready for what I watched?
Yes.
So, kids-wise, the Olaf Presents came out, and I watched all of them in 15 minutes because they're only 3 minutes apiece.
You texted me and were like, Hannah, these are awesome. I haven't seen them yet.
They're so funny. So Olaf just reenacts. He does the entire plot of a famous Disney movie in 3.5 minutes. Literally, the intro and the credits is longer than the short. Can you tell me what?
This was something that I wanted to bring because I remember you saying that you liked that. In the documentary for the making of Frozen, that sequence wasn't originally in the script. It was like 6 months before it premiered that was even included into the movie.
I love it
because so many people were confused.
He was so funny.
It's hysterical. It's literally one of the funniest parts of the movie.
The thing about it is so here's the deal. You can go and you can watch episode 1 and episode 2, or I didn't know this. You can go to the very end. They have them all together. You can watch them all instead of just having to go through.
I'm doing that right when we're finished. I'm doing that.
That's so funny. I have also literally binge watched Raised by Wolves on HBO Max.
I've heard of. Is that where the girl is like an alien?
Okay, so here's the deal. And this is like season 1, and it came out probably a couple years ago or a year ago.
Is that where
she's
she's a robot?
She's a robot. So
I started watching the
episodes, and I got through the first 6, and I started the 7th, and I was uncomfortable, and I turned it off.
I turned it off after the first episode.
It's weird. So it's post-apocalyptic. The robots were destroying mankind. There's a big deal between atheists and these people
who are religious.
Mithraic is what they're called. Like, take religion and make it the worst possible thing you can think of, and that's what it is. So the people who believe in this Mithraic type, I don't know. I don't even know who they worship, but it's basic. I think it's a really bad portrayal of what they think probably Christianity might be. But they create an ark to leave Earth and go to a new planet.
And then they send 2 robots
to get there. It's completely different. This atheist sends these 2 robots in a ship that can go faster with
5, 6,
12.
Okay.
Eggs, basically fertilized eggs, and then they raise them on the planet. And so they're there on the planet for 10 years before the Ark arrives. And I don't know. It's by Ridley Scott.
I watched this first episode when it first came out. Like I watched this time last year.
Got you. Yeah, that's about right. I wanted to watch it because I wanted to see what he thought about religion and atheism and I don't know.
It was hard for me to watch.
It's disturbing, which is why I couldn't finish it. I got through the first 6.
I stopped the first episode.
Well, I did, but then I went back and said, I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to try it. And I made it through 6, and then I just quit. That's In for Mature, and that's on HBO Max. Did I watch?
Man, I don't know. I think that, like, a couple hypotheses I had about it. I think the planet that they're at is hostile.
Oh, definitely.
I think they're on a hostile. Something's wrong with the planet.
Well, yeah, because all of the children
slowly started to die.
Except for one, the one who struggled to survive at the very beginning.
Yeah.
Yes. And you come to find out why that is.
Okay. Why?
Later on.
Tell me. Spoil me.
You want me to
tell me. Yeah,
Spoiler.
Tell me.
The things they were growing,
Are they
once
poison?
you picked it, the seed inside started to decay and produce radioactivity. So they were all being
slowly poisoned.
Radiation poisoning. But they didn't know it because when they would check to see if the plant was good, the plant was good until it was picked.
And so you got to just cut it off immediately?
Well, no, they're trying something different. But I quit watching it. So there are creatures that live there too that look like de-evolved humans.
They're petrifying looking.
Yeah. So
like they have giant skulls.
Yeah. So
Interesting. I'm surprised that you chose to watch that.
It was interesting. It's interesting. I thought I would give it a try just because I wanted to see what their thoughts were on religion.
I guess I'm not so surprised. You've been really enjoying the like sci-fi-y alternate.
Yeah, I watched the last episode
you finished Foundation.
It was really good.
So that makes sense. It's not Foundation, but it's an excellent sci-fi film.
It's an excellent sci-fi.
That's what you keep saying.
Yeah, now I got to wait till next season. They're over. So I started binging a new show that came out on Netflix this week, Cowboy Bebop.
Hey, are you enjoying it? I've heard mixed reviews.
Okay, so it is In for Mature. There is violence, cussing, and nudity. Okay. So I got through the first 3 episodes. I'm on episode 4.
Are they good?
Really good. And the music is fantastic. If anything, just listen.
Man, we're a sucker for stuff like that.
I don't understand this, first of all. Netflix puts the skip intro button down on the right-hand side. Anybody that skips the intro to Cowboy Bebop should be punched in the nose. It's just as bad as Disney putting skip the credits button at the bottom of a Marvel movie.
Man, I saw your Facebook post about that and it made me giggle.
I was like, what?
Made me giggle.
Somebody was like, I think if you push that, it jumps ahead to the skip scene. I'm like, who wants to take the chance? I don't want to chance that. So yeah,
funny.
I watched. Yeah, so that's what I've been watching. There you
go.
Awesome.
That's cool.
What's up, Hannah? What are we doing now?
Pull list.
Okay. Yes.
I have a story to tell you about pull lists and comic book stores.
I have a story to tell you too.
We went to a new comic book store in Gallatin.
Oh, neat.
And it is really cool. It was really cool. It was really cool. Something that I especially loved about it is there was this one part of the store, Heroes Wanted.
Heroes Wanted. That's a good name.
Isn't that a good name?
And they sell games and other stuff too.
So it's mainly comics. Like they do have some like cups and stuff like this. There are a couple things I really like about this store. They have pre-packaged sets. So if you wanted like 10, like they had like 30 an ElfQuest spinoff comics for sale for like $40.
Gotcha. You could buy them all.
You could pick them up, buy them all. They're all right there. They had Stardust comics.
Gotcha.
They had all 4 of them.
So like a mini series, they would have had 1 through 12.
Yeah.
Cool.
Which I thought was really cool. That way you could just
maybe they did the Fist of Khonshu in the Avengers run. They like had those. You could buy that.
You could buy like a mini run or buy like the entire run of a set or something like that, which I thought was really cool. And it was like discounted, like a discounted rate as well, which I thought was fun. They had this section of the store and they had a kids cartoon running and they had all these kid comics and they were lower to the ground. So like kids could go up and like look at the shelves and like pick things that they wanted.
Gotcha.
Which I thought was really fun.
That is good because...
And really cool. And while we were there, like 6 kids came in, each with different groups of parents. And so like it was... good. It was really cool.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
Because a lot of time, it's hard to buy, comics are expensive, first of all. Mm-hmm. I had a friend put on one of his posts. He was like, they say comics are expensive. And he showed the Time magazine is the Spider-Man. Mm. And I guess they're doing it. Had Time magazine, had
Cool.
Spider-Man, and the cover price was $14.99. But I was like, okay, so it's $14.99. Marvel is currently putting Spider-Man out 3 times a month at a cover price of $4.99 a book. You do the math. It's $14.97 for 3 Spider-Man books. Unless, of course, you have it on your pull list and they give you a discount. What is a pull list?
A pull list at this place is called a Guardian box. And and if you have up to a certain number of titles, you get a certain percentage off.
Exactly. Most people do.
A pull list is out of the new titles that you're collecting. You'll give the proprietor of your local comic book shop the books that you're collecting, and they will pull those from their inventory before placing them on the shelf. That way you are sure to have the books that you want saved for you.
Exactly.
So Dad is going to go through his pull list for us. He is going to tell us 2 Marvel, 2 DC, 2 Independents, and his book of the week that he has pulled over the past couple weeks. What are you feeling?
Well, here's the deal. So this week, my local comic shop, Heroes Realm in Lexington, they didn't get their independent titles until Friday. So
that happened. The guy at this comic was telling us that too.
So I didn't pick those up until today. So I haven't had a chance to read them.
Okay, no big.
So what I'm going to do this week is I'm going to do 2 Independent, 2 DC, and 2 Marvel from the last 2 weeks.
I love that. I love that plan.
And not necessarily give a book of the week.
Okay, cool.
Although my book of the week, if I had to choose for this week of the ones I've read so far, would be Supergirl.
Woman of Tomorrow.
It's just Woman of Tomorrow, issue 5. That would have to be mine. Well, let's just dive into that.
Okay.
So I love the Supergirl book. It follows this young girl whose dad was killed, and Supergirl is helping her track this guy down. So they track him down, and they're what, Hannah? What?
What happened to the dog?
We still don't know yet. So
Dad.
the dog.
Dad.
Know. In the first issue,
No.
I think we don't know. So
okay.
What happens is they catch up with the guy. Well, the only thing that really bothers the super family is magic. He had traded all these people that he had killed for a magic spell that can transport someone anywhere you want to transport.
No.
So as they're battling, he transports Supergirl and the young girl who is with her to a planet with a green sun. Guess what effect the green sun does?
Bad stuff. Kryptonite. Bad.
Kryptonite.
Bad stuff. No power. Bad.
No power. Makes her sick and almost kills you. And actually, she says that her cousin Kal-El was sent here and he stayed there for 45 minutes and it was the worst he ever felt, even after he was killed by Doomsday. So she has to stay on the planet for 10 hours until the sun sets. And it's filled with, it was like a planet created just to destroy Superman. So it's got all these like monsters on it. So the young girl has to sort of protect her. And
yikes.
Yeah, so it was
cool.
Really good. I really enjoyed Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. So like I said, I didn't get my independent books until this week. So I'm going to choose 2 independents from last week.
I love that.
One is a new issue from Boom Studios. And it's called Regarding the Matter of Oswald's Body. And it has absolutely what you think it's about. It's Oswald's body they think is missing.
So issue 1.
Yes, it deals with people being brought together. It is a JFK conspiracy book.
Is it Department of Truth-esque?
Not as creepy as Department of Truth.
Okay.
We say that because Oswald is like running the Department of Truth, but no, not really. It's the issue is that he's a group of people have been brought together and you think they're going to stage the death of the president or are they going to stop somebody from, I don't know. It's really interesting. It's issue 1. It's from Boom Studios. Odds are it'll be 5 to 6 issues because that's usually what happens with most of those. So I'm interested to see where that plays out. One one of my first issues, or one of my Marvel issue is Dark Ages issue 3. So this is by Tom Taylor, who I just love everything Tom Taylor does. I'm enjoying. Which, by the way, I don't know if there's have you heard the big stink with Superman?
No.
The Superman, the son, Kal-El, son of Superman. So coming up in an issue,
the House of El comic.
Going,
he likes boys.
Well, he is, I think, kisses a reporter or something of that nature.
Yeah.
So there's a big stink about all that, which is ridiculous. He's an alien anyway, so nobody thought it was weird when Superman. Anyway, long story short. Which, by the way, Nightwing, who I love, which is also by Tom Taylor. Tom Taylor is writing that book, the son of Superman, Kal-El, son of Superman. There's going to be a crossover.
Oh, of course there is.
With Nightwing, and I'm going to have to get him. So, because I always love Nightwing. It did come out and it was good. But anyway, in Dark Ages, the story is something happened in the center of the earth. A creature was destroying the earth. And in issue 1, Dr. Strange created a portal for another dimension that allowed a big, huge EMP to come through and shut down everything that works on electric. But he was killed, so it remains open, so there's nothing with electric. Okay?
We've talked about that. You've talked about this before. I'm remembering what you're saying.
What happens is Apocalypse, which is one of the huge villains.
Dun, dun.
Wait. He was in, you remember, did you ever watch the X-Men movie where the Apocalypse guy?
Not really, but I know what you're talking about.
So he is finding a way to capture this creature. And so he's like the villain of this story. And in order to do that, you have to be able to create such a huge thing of electricity, but there is no electricity. Oh, but there is. He creates a Faraday cage. Guess who he uses to power his Faraday cage?
Who?
Magneto. So.
Oh no.
That send.
That is not good.
The good guys, which is, believe it or not, Doctor Doom, Spider-Man, Black Panther, send a spy to go check it all out. They send Quicksilver, the super fast,
Yes.
But he sees that his dad, and just long enough for the Purple Man to infect him, and he comes back and attacks the group. And so
bad.
It's going to be good. I love it. Last week, one of my DC titles that I enjoyed was the last issue of Justice League Last Ride.
Okay. Issue what?
Issue 7. So that's it. It's over. The story is over. This was the one. Remember I told you that the Martian Manhunter died and Batman and Superman don't talk? Well, this resolves all of that.
Oh, yay.
And so now it's
resolution.
We do. And, it turns out good. They defeat Darkseid and Martian Manhunter is alive somehow out there within they decide at the end that they're no longer Justice League International, they're Justice League Interstellar or something like that. So who knows?
What?
But the good thing is that it's got the cover, the final cover has Superman, Wonder Woman, The Flash, Batman, Martian Manhunter, and 2 Green Lanterns.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Awesome. I love that. 3 more, Dad.
Another independent came out last week called What's the Furthest Place from Here? Which was so funny because I put this down as one of my books and I listed this is what I had that I thought were my favorites for the week. And I said, what'd you guys get? And then they wrote theirs. And then somebody said, what's the furthest place from here? And I was like, then I went into this long discussion of what the book was all about. And the guy was like, no, I was just meant I got that book too. I was like, that's hilarious. I completely thought, oh, well, I'll explain it the best I can.
Okay, so who's it by?
It's Image.
Okay.
Image
Issue
Comics.
1?
Yeah, and it was like 80 pages for like $5.
What?
So it was a great deal. Yeah.
Hey! We love that.
It's one of those post-apocalyptic where people don't live past to be a certain age, and they're like gangs. They're not supposed to go out at night. That's part of the rules. There's something going on in another land outside of the city. There's these weird looking creatures.
Dope.
Yeah, and they like once you get to be so old, I don't know, you go crazy or something. I can't remember. But
that's not good.
But it has a lot to do with the music. Like,
makes me think of Logan's Run.
Oh yeah, a little bit. It does a little bit. I get that. I can see that. But the one gang is inside a record shop is where their thing is, and then when they like become who they're going to be, they choose their life's album, and that's so. Think about that, Hannah. What would your life's album?
My life's album be?
Yeah, this girl picks one, and she said this one right here, and it's a Hall & Oates album. And he goes, "Do you even know who they are?" And he goes, "No, it just looks cool." I was like, "Oh gosh, yeah."
Yeah, I feel like you'd have to do something like that. Like if you sat there and thought about it too hard, I'd never pick one.
Never pick your life's album. I know. What would it be?
You know what I mean? Like it would have to just be something where you just picked it.
I know. It would be.
Well, and music in our family, man.
Eliminator. Sharp Dressed Man, maybe.
No. Mine would be the Muppets. The intro to the Muppets.
I already know what my walk-in song is.
Oh, same.
But I don't know.
Yours is Mr. Bombastic.
Explain what a walk-in song is to all these people listening.
So I don't know. I was going to say in our family, but I don't think it's true. I just think it's me and you who has a. I think it's just us.
I don't know.
A walk-in song is a song that plays when you, not like at all in anywhere except in your head, but it plays when you walk into a place and are like really feeling yourself, like you're like dressed up
Mr.
or you're
Lava,
like feeling really cute.
Hey, girl.
Dad's is Mr. Bombastic. Ooh, I can't say that word.
Mr. Bombastic. And what is yours?
Oh
yeah, by Yellow. Anyway, so my book of the week last week was Venom issue 1.
Okay. Which
is the reason that we're going to read the Venom comic book. But Venom now is a new
is this okay? So is this your DC book, or do you want me to count this as book of the week?
No, this is just my Marvel. I don't have a book of the week. Remember?
Oh, you're right.
My book of this week would have been DC's Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. My book of last week was Venom issue 1. And let me tell you, they printed 7 million copies. You can probably go out there and get you one if you didn't get one. Okay. This is by Al Ewing and Ram V. Oh, BT Dubs.
I'm ready.
I tweeted, "Hey, you guys reading the new Venom? Did you see that?" Or I tweeted that. New book by Al Ewing, Ram V, and Brian Hitch. If not, you really should. And here's a mosaic of Venom if you need any excuse or reason to. And it was liked by Ram V, one of the writers of the comic.
You need to add that to your
my list of geek accomplishments.
To your resume, geek accomplishments.
I know, that was so cool.
It's a geek accomplishment indeed.
I love the art. Brian Hitch's art is fantastic.
That's so fun.
This is an interesting story. So Venom now is a space god, basically, god of all the symbiotes. Mm-hmm. And his son has the Venom symbiote. But his dad's like, his dad, Eddie Brock, is like, don't get hooked with it, whatever, anyway. So you follow the son who's basically, my dad's off in space, being space god. I never see him. He doesn't come to me. He gets in trouble at school. He's basically being left to fend for himself while his dad's out. You know, it's really pretty bad. So what happens is Eddie Brock, who is the OG Venom, who we'll talk about when we go to do the trade. Something is happening, and like he gets pulled in and shown that he's going to die. This is what's going to happen.
Oh no.
You know, it's just going to happen. So he tries to go back to Earth to rescue his son, to tell his son something. And his son, of course, combines with the symbiote, and it's fantastic. I cannot wait to see what happens.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. So Venom issue 1.
Okay. Collect it if you can.
Creative team, which is Al Ewing, the guy who did Immortal Hulk.
Oh, so you liked Immortal Hulk.
I liked Immortal Hulk to sit down and read them all together. Immortal Hawk reading them as individual comics was hard.
Yeah.
So, yeah. One of our listeners, Mark said the Peter Gunn theme. Boom, 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 boom. There he goes. Whenever he enters the viewing or chat, I will hear that what we hear. Song in our head. We hear it. We're with you. Hey, girl. It's the lava lava. All right. So let's talk about Hannah and I read the volume 1 of Venom.
Yes.
Which was the Donny Cates original.
Is it called like Rex or something?
Imperious Rex, maybe?
Okay.
No, okay. I don't know something. Rex means king, right?
It does?
So I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe.
Rex means king. I knew that.
So yeah, it's like the first 5 or 6 issues of his run. And actually, if you want to read volume 2, it's available for free too.
Oh, it is?
On the Kindle app.
Cool.
If you have Amazon Prime. Or Comixology Unlimited, I believe. What'd you think, Hannah?
I really enjoyed it.
Be honest.
No, I actually really enjoyed it. It was weird.
Because you've seen both the movies. So
I've seen Venom and Carnage. And
for full disclosure, I collected the comic book Marvel Secret Wars where the black costume first appears. And I collected Spider-Man.
So you like Venom?
From issue 258 up through 330, 340. So I know all about Venom and Carnage through the comics. Venom was very bad, and they've now made him an anti-hero, basically.
He's still not great.
No, but so anyway, that's a little bit of Venom background. If you know who Venom is, if you're on this,
yeah, man. So Venom is a symbiote from space who attaches himself to a host. And you have to be matched with the host well or it doesn't work.
Gotcha. So what'd you think of the comic book?
I really liked the comic book. I thought it was interesting to hear about like where Venom came from. Mm-hmm. The guys with the swirly faces were creepy as heck.
Yeah, they were.
Creepy as heck. And the wings, ? Venom has like bat wings now. Is like a part dragon.
So they introduced a new character.
Which is like a vampire.
Null. He's the god of the symbiotes, which is now
Venom.
In this run, who Venom is now. Eddie Brock is now. Right.
And man, he's bad mamma jamma.
So it was like he came from the Celestials. Did you catch that?
He was before the Celestials because he was king of the abyss. And he was like, and then these gods came and all they could think was that the void needed to be filled. And that they called it space and that it needed to be filled up with planets. And he's like, no, this is my void. He was weird.
And then they chucked him in.
And they chucked him to the abyss. And the abyss is
where he wanted to be anyway. Yeah, it's where he lives best and grows.
And
you come to find out that this planet where all of these symbiotes are isn't a planet. It's actually a jail.
Yeah, it's a symbiote jail where they are protecting the god guy. They're swirling around him. Mm-hmm. Swirling with the curly.
Miles Morales.
Man, he was like, this is so dumb. He's like, I'm gonna let you deal with this guy. I'm peace and love. I'm out of here.
First, at the beginning, he was like all in, and then he's like, no, it's all right. It's cool. You do you.
No. He's like, I'm gonna help you, and then he's like, no, I'm not.
No, he didn't want to help him. He wanted to destroy him, right? Because he killed. He had something to do with hurting some of his family or something of that nature, and
then he's like, okay, I'm gonna help you defeat this guy, and he's like, no, I'm not. I'm peace and love. Out of here for real.
Defeat him. So then you come to find out that creature, Null, wasn't there really. He wasn't even there.
It was so weird. Man, it was so weird. And that guy, the army guy that Eddie was talking to, isn't actually a guy at all, but is another symbiote who's just pretending to be a guy. Weird.
So I thought this was really bizarre and hard to follow.
Oh, 100. The way we're describing it is just very bad. We're doing a very bad job of describing this at all in a linear fashion. But it was hard to follow linearly as well.
I thought it was. I mean,
it kind of bebop all around.
I liked reading it all together. Because if I'd have had to wait each issue, it was hard.
You'd have to reread.
The only way I could tell where the story ended was a big, huge picture of the next cover. Other than that, I was like, I don't know where I am. But
yeah, it would be one thing that you'd have to like read all the previous issues before reading the new issue.
Although, well, maybe not. I mean, they do a pretty good job of starting fresh, saying this is where I am, this is where I come from, everything, life is horrible, blah blah blah. You know, and he's not getting along with Venom, right? And then you know, his Venom symbiote basically, once he comes in contact with Null, just shrinks behind him. He's like, I ain't messing with this guy because he's the alpha, right? And
but then he combines with him. Venom combines with the alpha and then becomes like strong again.
Yeah,
and he's like, now we know things.
Yes,
you're stronger now, Eddie. And I'm like,
yes,
you are weird, like, my guy.
I love the art. Ryan Stegman's art's fantastic.
And the story was really good. It was by Donny Cates. We like Donny Cates.
Right. And it plays out literally for 100 issues. This opening.
That's 100 issues?
It goes for 100 issues. Not that. There are different things that happen.
Dang.
There's a war with Carnage, but blah, blah, blah. But
shoot.
And he's in space for some time. So it's not just all of that. But to get the payoff from those happens at the end, issue 100. He defeats Null.
And then that's why in this new thing, he's king of symbiotes.
That's why he's king of the symbiotes.
Cool.
But there's something else out there.
Like the Black Saber, you can only win it if you defeat someone in combat.
Sort of like that little ball that the villain got in Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. You had to kill 18 million people to get it. They could make her go to the green planet. I thought that was a great idea. That story is so well written.
Yeah. I love that you enjoy it so much. This is the third time you've talked about it. And typically what happens when you find a story you really like, you just tell us about the first one and then you just keep enjoying it. But this is one that you keep mentioning over and over again, which means you really, really are enjoying it.
I do. That,
because like you still collect Adventure Man.
I thought Suicide Squad was good too.
You still collect Adventure Man. You still collect Homesick Pilots. You still collect Department of Truth.
Homesick Pilots is done.
Done?
For right now. They think they're going to they talked about possibly doing another miniseries.
Another 6-issue run?
Maybe. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but Adventure Man's coming out monthly now. It took a year for it to come back out. So.
Yeah, I got a comic book calendar. They gave me a newspaper at this place, and it has all of the books that are coming out.
Did you get me one?
You can have it.
But do you know what I would do with it?
What?
I'd put it in a bag with a board after I looked at it, and then I would put it in with I have literally things that give me like little posters and little cards. I bag and board them like I do comic books.
Do you?
And slide them. Yeah.
That's
put them
so
in
cool.
my thing.
Yeah,
I have a letter that was given to me. I wrote in to get a poster of a character called Amazing Man. And
when was this?
This was in the 80s. And they mailed it to me, and I still have the letter and everything.
Oh, that's really sweet.
Yeah.
I think because we were looking at the calendars because they were really cool. And so I think I accidentally left it at Trevin's house, but I'll get it and give it to you. You can have it. What? Well, we just circled all over it. What if we did?
You did not.
No, we didn't.
What? Like,
it's a newspaper, Dad. It's a newspaper. You can
I'm like frozen in time, like going, no.
But it's just a newspaper.
It's like I'm falling. Ah!
What is it? Why can't we write on it? It's a newspaper.
Anna, you don't do that. That's like, do you know people used to get checklists for like cards and stickers back when I was a kid, and they would, I got that one, check it off. I'm like, and do you know why checklists are so valuable now? That's why. Like literally, some checklists are like, I need to complete my set. Anybody got a check? I got to look for a checklist, but people ain't checked it off. Write it down. Jeez Louise.
Okay, so I do have to tell you that Trev now has, it's not official, but he has an unofficial pull list of the comics that we're trying to find. We have officially have the full run of Ruby.
Okay.
Because the 7th issue came out and we purchased it.
Gotcha.
And yeah. And so at this comic store that I'm like loving right now, it's 40% off back issues.
Oh man.
40%. We'll have to go there.
Need to take my Fantastic Four back issue list.
Well, okay. It's 40. Yeah, it's 40. I mean, it's like they have like old ones too, and I think the old ones are like priced. But like the back issues of the newer ones, and there's this. I'm not kidding. A wall of like 10 No, that's too high. Like 12 across and like 4 up of like boxes that you like pull out and like can flip through. And those are 40% off back issues.
All right. Sounds like a plan. Sounds like a journey.
Sounds like a journey. It was fun.
Okay.
I'm going to go back. I really loved it. It's a fun little story.
Hannah and I watched a new movie on Redbox. Netflix. Netflix called Red Notice.
Yes, we did.
Which stars The Rock, Ryan Reynolds, and Gal Gadot. Which, by the way, is produced or is it's made under the banner of The Rock's production studio.
Cool.
Because
I saw that it was directed by the guy who did Central Intelligence.
That looked like the little logo looked. I said that looks rather Samoan. And then I pulled it up and I was like, "Yep, Dwayne. It's co-owned by Dwayne Johnson."
Cool.
Give the lowdown. What is so this is PG-13 and it is on Netflix. Hannah,
it is a.
We're going to spoil it, by the way.
100% Rotten Raspberry.
Rotten Raspberries.
We are LOL. We are spoiling it. So it is an like a heist thriller film.
I wouldn't call it thriller. It's a comedy.
Heist adventure film. Comedy adventure film.
Yeah. There you go.
And it follows a cop and a con who...
he's not a cop. I'm not a cop. He kept saying he wasn't a cop. What is he? He's an art...
He's a BAU, Behavioral Analysis Unit, FBI person who specializes in...
art thieves.
Art thieves.
Yeah. Whatever.
LOL.
Because that's a thing.
Okay. The entire time I was like, I get that art thievery like this is bad and like that's not a good thing. But like, how much money do you think that they spent on trying to capture these people who are just stealing eggs? Like,
yeah, like a lot of money.
Like, just is it worth it?
Yeah.
Is it worth
it? Just let them have the eggs.
Just have the egg.
Maybe that's why everybody lets everything be sold in the black market and nobody really goes.
I'm like, it's fine. Just have the egg.
Yeah.
Art, man. I mean,
so what happens is there are 3
Cleopatra
eggs, and only 2 of them are known to be in existence, and one is lost. One is in an art museum. One is owned
by this rich, creepy guy.
Egyptian guy.
No.
Right?
No. They're buying them for the Egyptian...
Right. An arms dealer. One is by like a Russian arms dealer or something like that. And so this Egyptian wealthy person will offer how much money? I don't even remember.
$300 million
amount of money for all 3 eggs so he can give them to his daughter.
His daughter, who's named Cleopatra for her as a wedding present.
For her birthday.
Wedding present.
Wedding present, sorry. See, that totally lost me.
I cared a lot about that part.
Ryan Reynolds is an art thief. And then the main art thief is called the Bishop.
And she is Gal Gadot.
So The Rock tries to capture Ryan Reynolds, steal the egg.
But then is framed by the Bishop.
And then Ryan Reynolds and The Rock have to work together to... and then hilarity ensues or whatever.
Man, Ryan Reynolds, his one-liners are really good in this.
They are, but
they're really funny.
It's becoming, this is one of my issues. Seems like, is this all Ryan Reynolds can do?
I know it's not all that he can do, but he's so good at it. So just let him do it. Like The Rock. Like how many times did he just like straight get punched and just not move? Like that's just what The Rock does.
Right. Yeah.
And Gal Gadot did some like fancy backflip fighting stuff because that's what she does. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So
it wasn't like a great movie, but man, I enjoyed it.
I did too. And it does
it's not going to win any awards.
Do you know what it reminded me of?
What?
Dirty Rotten Scoundrels.
Oh, it had such Dirty Rotten Scoundrels vibes. For sure it did. It did. You're right. It
so reminded me like that. And
the Jumanji, are you sure it was not Jumanji? Was Jeff Goldblum in it? You're right.
Not Jumanji. No, Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park. I'm saying Jumanji. Oh, yeah. I'm embarrassed.
Yeah, because he says, It's David Attenborough.
We're not supposed to
move. No, not that. It was with Richard Attenborough. Are you sure it wasn't Jurassic Park?
It wasn't Jurassic Park. Is Jeff Goldblum in it? Oh, it was Jurassic Park.
It was Jurassic Park.
That was a good one. That was
a scene where the bull, their bull. Bullfighting is happening.
They're running from a bull.
And of course, The Rock gets hit by a bull.
He gets hit by a bull and then just stands right back.
So Ryan Reynolds says, "Don't move, don't move." And he goes, "What do you mean, don't move?" He goes, "I saw this on a Richard Attenborough special. No, on a nature special." And he goes, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, it was hosted by Richard Attenborough, which hilariously does do not John Attenborough. Wait, I've got them all mixed up.
Man,
anyway, the one Attenborough does do on Netflix has." And I've been watching it. Nature special.
Oh, I love that.
Which I can't understand how he's got to be 120 years old and he's out there and I'm like, really? How can he get to these places? But anyway, and he's like, no, it was with David Attenborough.
Was Jeff Goldblum in it? Oh, it was Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park. Jeff Goldblum.
That was really good.
Oh gosh.
That was a really good part. Man, the hijinks were just so silly. I hated that. Hated that part. I was like,
so the funny thing is that Ryan Reynolds knows where the last egg is, sort of, and they end up there, and it's like in this bunker where, so there's a huge Rolls Royce, like a Nazi Rolls Royce or something. It reminded me from the car that Red Skull used. It looked just like that car, and they're like, oh, they drove it up in here, and I'm like, really? Because at the end of the chase, the car goes out a cave like 300 feet up and from a waterfall. I'm like, how did they drive that in there? They did not drive that car in there.
I also, what was the shoot?
The car chase inside.
Oh, no. So I watched this, Trev and we watched this, and he was like, never have both of us been like, oh, yay, a Nazi symbol until right now. Because they pull the thing and it's the Nazi symbol and we're like, hey, they found it. And it's like, oh no. Ooh. Bad feeling.
The lost bunker. Ooh. That felt very
possible.
Absolutely. And it had a lot of the Nicolas Cage vibes.
Oh. National Treasure. We love a National Treasure vibe. And it pulled from a lot of, because I was reading a review about it.
But if you think about it, so no matter the amount of money they got the eggs. Not only that, they recovered all that art in Brazil.
Well, no, because the other people, Interpol found it.
That's what I'm saying. Interpol got all of that too.
Well, good for Interpol. Just leave, man, how much, the amount of money. That's what it made me think of. And
we do anything for art.
I like art. And I like going to art museums. Mm-hmm. I think art is fun.
One guy named Art.
And perhaps don't spend that much money following people around the world to get an egg.
No, there you go. You could buy my mosaics for that much money.
Yeah.
I'd let you do it. I'll tell you what, take a couple zeros off. I'd still let you do it. So Red Notice, the reason it gets its title is because Red Notice is the highest wanted rating with Interpol. And at the end of the movie,
they all get red notices.
They all three get red notice.
Because, surprise, surprise, spoiler alert, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is actually an art thief.
Yeah, because there are two bishops on a chessboard and a whole lot of pawns. See how I did that?
That was a good quote, Dad. That was a quote from the movie.
You knew Ryan Reynolds was going to show back up. You knew he was going to, yeah. And Ed
with
Sheeran,
the raw pork, this is awful, Brie. That's raw pork.
He's like, spits it out. And Ed Sheeran is trying to beat somebody up with his guitar. He's playing. This girl gets $300 million worth of eggs and freaks out because Ed Sheeran's playing a song.
There, and the dad's like, "This is so dumb." I thought that was hysterical. And then Ed Sheeran's like, "I was on Game of Thrones." That's what got me. That's what got me. I mean, yeah, he literally was on Game of Thrones for like 10 minutes and played a song, and that was it. He's like, "I was on Game of Thrones." I'm like, LOL. Hysterical. Funny. Did you see the trailer that they did? It was Ryan Reynolds being interviewed by Antique Roadshow.
Antique Roadshow. Hilarious. I did see that. That was
For
funny.
100. He's like, yeah, I think this would value at $100 million. He's like, it was hysterical. And he got interviewed by this guy. Man, it was funny.
So I enjoyed the movie. I will put it on in the background and let it run again. It's definitely PG-13. There's one big bad in it, which didn't need to happen, but they did it anyway.
I mean, because you're allowed to do one.
Yeah, and they did it. I enjoyed it. Sure enough.
I don't know about it. I thought it was...
Why is your shirt off? He's like, why did you take that guy takes his shirt off to torture him? I was like, yeah.
Man, again, I enjoyed it. It's not going to win any awards, and it's not going to... I don't know if it's going to make a lot of money.
Hopefully they'll make another one. It might be fun.
Yeah, if they make another one, I'll watch it. I enjoyed it.
I will too. Yeah.
But again, it's not the best movie I've seen.
Right.
Ghostbusters was better than it.
Mm-hmm. I watched Dune again. It was better than
Dune is so good.
This is your last chance. It's going off HBO Max.
Should I watch it? So, I might put it on today in the background.
There you go.
As I'm knitting.
So, I'm going to give this 3.5 eggs.
Yeah, I think 3.5. Yeah, good enough that I'd watch it again, but not good enough that I'm like, everybody needs to watch this.
Yeah, although it was fun. It's brainless.
Not bad.
Require much. I forgot to mention, did you see the trailer for the new movie Marry Me?
No.
J-Lo is a famous...
Another rom-com? Is J-Lo in a rom-com?
Yes. It comes out Valentine's Day.
What?
She is like a famous musician, and her famous musician pop star boyfriend, they're engaged. They're going to exchange vows during this concert. And it's called the Marry Me Tour. And so Owen Wilson is one of his friends who's Sarah Silverman, who was the voice of the little kid.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, she's funny.
And so Owen Wilson and his daughter, and so his friend's like, we got tickets, you got to come go. And he goes, I'm not going. And and his daughter's like, you need to go, you need to do something. So they go to this concert where she's going to get married. And Sarah Silverman how they make big signs. So they made a big Marry Me sign. She goes, hold on, I got to go to the bathroom or something. She hands him the Marry Me sign. Well, right before J-Lo, this is all in the trailer, so I'm not giving anything away. Right before J-Lo goes out, everything's happening in the background. All the people are looking at things on their phones and everything. And
he's gone.
He's cheated on her with her assistant.
No.
So she comes up and she's like all teary. And she said, sometimes you just got to, do whatever, blah, blah, blah. And she looks out and he's holding that Marry Me sign. And she's like, yes, I will marry you. And then he's like, what? And next thing you know, he's up on stage, they get married. And it's him in her world and
Owen Wilson and J-Lo. I'm dead at Owen Wilson and J-Lo.
He's like, I don't even know who she is. She goes, so what are you, some super fan? And he's like, no, I'm not a fan. I mean, I am now, he says. Like, I am now. But yeah, it looks so cute.
Is this going to be like a Netflix or is this like an out?
No. It's out in the theaters. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Enroll.
Hey, friends, thanks for hanging with us. We're so glad to be back in your earbuds. We've missed you. Thanks for letting us have a little breaky poo. Your eyeballs and your earballs. We're glad to be with you. Hey, our intro music is created by Brockwell Nason. You can check him out anywhere you listen to music. Our art was created by Nate Turner. Hey, he did that in Microsoft Paint. What a multi-talented individual. We are thankful for him. I edit and Dad, stop it. Dad's making faces at me as I'm doing this, you little nugget. Our intro.
You won't see that unless you watch it on YouTube.
Our YouTube is maintained by dear old Big Pops himself, and I edit and upload our podcast. We are thankful that you are choosing to spend an hour with us, friends. We hope.
Next week is Thanksgiving. I don't know what's going to happen with that. I have created my top list of comics and comic book moments and biggest letdowns. Maybe we might do a little Podbean Live for 20, 30 minutes.
A little talkie on like a Wednesday, perhaps.
Maybe. We'll see.
Or on a Friday or a Thursday.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. Hey,
Yeah, guys.
Thankful for you, friends, for hanging with us.
So much. Hit us up on the Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
Hit us up. I mean, I don't know how else to get a hold of us.
Yeah. Or Facebook, I guess. Or just, if you know us,
Discord,
send us a texty
or
text.
Instagram, if you know us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys. Thank you so much for playing along. And until next time.
Catch you on the flippity flop.
On the flippity flop.
Bye.
Bye, guys.